yo, she looks guilty as hell. And then I'm looking at it and I'm saying, did you really say that? Mm-hmm. Did you really say that Caitlin Clark should thank her Heavenly Stars that she wouldn't be worth anything if she wasn't playing in the WNBA? Did you really say? See, all of these things that Nafisha Collier brought up.
The WNBA battled for attention for 27 years. At last, a celebrity is bringing in truckloads of money and millions of viewers. The league office is acting out, of course. Something crazy was just revealed by Stephen A. Smith. It's possible that the commissioner is attempting to ruin her own golden goose. This is no longer about basketball. This has to do with corporate envy and ego control.
Hey, Caitlin! Can you make it from there?
Hey, Caitlin, how about from here? Come on, guys.
Yeah, she can't make it from there. No chance.
Caitlin, conmigo, ¿eh?
You got it. I'm not even gonna ask.
Hey, Caitlin, from here might be impressive. Am I right?
Whatever, Che.
So right here.
From there!
Is this the most blatant example of self-sabotage in sports history, or has the WNBA leadership gone entirely insane? Leave a comment with your ideas. Since this circumstance is very crazy, let's examine what actually transpired. A new ad starring Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever star began to circulate. That's nothing out of the ordinary, is it? Incorrect. It seems that WNBA Commissioner Kathy Angelbert and the league management as a whole went completely crazy about this advertising. We're talking about discussions behind closed doors, irate phone conversations, and what Stephen A. Smith refers to as pure rage from the top.
Let me clarify first, because it's proxy season, right? No CEO do you just put the base pay in there. You put their bonus, you put their stock options, you put everything. Caitlin has the ability to make up to $500,000 just in WNBA wages this year. So of course they're just looking at a base which is collectively bargained. And actually it's low because she's a #1 pick. She'll make a little more than that. But she also has millions and millions of dollars of endorsements. She's actually, because she declared to become pro, her endorsements are higher in dollar value. She has a global platform now, not just a U.S. platform. So she's going to do just fine, as will the top players in the league, as every league does. Also, there's comparisons to the men. Those men's leagues are 75 to 120 years old. We're tipping off our 28th season. I would say if you looked at them 28 seasons in, we're further ahead. But I realize we still have a lot of work to do, and it's all about the ecosystem.
Now take a moment to consider how outdated this is. Millions of people who may not otherwise watch women's basketball are exposed to your league thanks to a huge national ad featuring your top star. Any competent sports organization would typically react with celebration. Celebrate with a press release, spread the word on social media, and ride the wave all the way to the bank. Not the WNBA, however. They seemed to react with hatred and rage. Stephen A. Smith essentially validated this rather than only speculating about it. Throughout the season, he has been among the most vocal supporters of Caitlin Clark, but his latest remarks have taken a much darker turn. He now discusses more than simply judicial drama. He's exposing what he believes to be underlying corruption in the league's leadership. SAS claims that the atmosphere emanating from WNBA headquarters isn't a celebration of their recent achievements. Because one player has grown to be more important than the whole organization, there is anxiety and envy.
Commercial. Lisa Bluter was in the commercial. Travis Scott was in the commercial. Travis Kelce was in the commercial. Jason Kelce was in the commercial, like the podcast thing, which we're going to get to that.
Let's examine why this particular ad created such mayhem. Caitlin Clark isn't portrayed as just another WNBA player in these expensive commercials, whether they are for Wilson, Gatorade, or State Farm. She is portrayed as a single force and a cultural phenomenon. The value of the produce is enormous. She seems strong, self-reliant, and, most importantly, bigger than the WNBA itself to the league office.
commercial. It was super hype, and they also launched the campaign from anywhere, which is just perfect for Caitlin Clark. And obviously, fans have been waiting for a CC signature shoe for years. It feels like years at this point. She is now 2 seasons into the WNBA, and we've gotten the signature logo, and we've also gotten some merch, but that signature shoe is what everybody is on the edge of their seat for. And she recently went on New Heights once again to talk about her signature shoe, and she talked about the new technology that will be going into this shoe.
This is amazing for fans. You want to watch basketball because it's thrilling. However, this means a total loss of control for CEOs such as Cathy Engelbert. You see, that picture wasn't produced by the league. They have no influence over the story and did not approve the artistic direction. The commissioner sees a player who doesn't need the WNBA to thrive when she sees Clark in these sophisticated ads. Clark has her own kingdom, her own economy, and her own gravitational pull. This complete loss of leverage is the source of the anger Stephen A. Smith often discusses. Professional sports leagues often have influence over its players since the athletes depend on the league for visibility and compensation. That conventional dynamic has been totally avoided by Caitlin Clark. Everyone is aware that she earns more money off the court than on it. Because having money equates to having power, and power unnerves individuals, particularly those who are used to being in control. According to insiders, this specific commercial's timing really sparked everything off. Throughout the season, the league has made a valiant effort to promote a shared narrative. Everyone is constantly reminded that there are other players involved. They want you to concentrate on the system itself, the other players, and the history. Then, in only 30 seconds, this ad appears and completely destroys that message. It serves as a reminder to all viewers that the commissioner is not the one who is really generating interest in this league. The girl from Iowa is capable of draining shots from the logo. The leadership finds it very uncomfortable to juxtapose Clark's luxury brand arrangements with the WNBA's antiquated, low-budget marketing initiatives. Because it highlights their failure, that humiliation is evolving into rage. The WNBA battled to become well-known for 27 years. Then one player gets up and does something they haven't been able to achieve for over 30 years in a single season. That must hurt. Regarding this, Stephen A. Smith has been completely unrelenting. He has highlighted how ridiculous it is for a commissioner who purports to be an expert in business to feel emotionally compromised because one player is receiving excessive attention. He contends that ineptitude is being concealed by the anger. Every time Clark signs a big contract or appears in a viral ad, it serves as a reminder of all the things the WNBA has failed to accomplish over the years. Consider it from the viewpoint of Cathy Engelbert. The commissioner is you. You are meant to be the business savvy who expands the league. Then Gatorade, Wilson, and State Farm promote your sport more effectively than you ever did. It's embarrassing. It reveals that you are not particularly skilled at what you do. Therefore, the reaction seems to be anger and bitterness rather than learning from it and employing stronger marketing teams to match that intensity. Additionally, SAS made the connection between locker room conduct and boardroom attitude. Why would rival players feel the need to respect the commissioner if she is rolling her eyes at Clark's financial success? The poisoning seeps down. It sends a message to everyone else that it's open season when the leadership fails to safeguard its star and treats her accomplishments with animosity rather than pride. Some of the absurd hard fouls and cheap shots we've seen this season may be explained by this. We must comprehend this anger in light of WNBA history. A certain group with a particular attitude has been in charge of the league for many years. They see the WNBA as a cause, a movement, and a group effort to be respected and acknowledged. Next is Caitlin Clark, a symbol of materialism and unadulterated individual fame. She doesn't conform to the norm. She upsets the well-established hierarchy. This disruption is well highlighted in the ad. It depicts Clark as an isolated force apart from the others. The WNBA leadership worked for decades to persuade the world that the league itself is the product. They market the collective and the shield. However, Clark is marketed as an individual symbol by her commercial partners. There is a great deal of tension because of this basic difference regarding what sells. The elderly guard feels betrayed. They believe that since a girl from Iowa can film from anywhere and become viral, all of their fundamental work is being overlooked. This is the same intensity that led to Clark's exclusion from the Olympic selection, as Stephen A. Smith noted. The old guard made that choice to convey a message and safeguard hierarchy. You must wait for your turn. Make your payments. However, commercial companies don't give a damn about waiting your turn. They pay for relevance in the present moment. Internal instability is being caused by this mismatch between the fast-paced, merit-based world of advertising and the slow-moving, seniority-based league office. The commissioner is caught in the middle and is becoming irate with the new reality rather than adjusting to it. Since professional sports are ultimately meant to be a business, let's speak about the money. The outrage over Clark's ad is a prime illustration of the corporate misconduct that Stephen A. Smith has accused the WNBA of on several occasions. When a player in a regular league, like the NBA or NFL, gets a big national advertisement, the commissioner rejoices. Why? Because it increases the enterprise's overall worth. It attracts casual spectators to games. It offers goods for sale. So why is the leadership of the WNBA upset? Therefore they don't get credit. The league seems cheap and unprofessional since Clark's off-court earnings are far higher than her on-court compensation. A public relations problem arises when casual fans see Clark in multimillion-dollar advertising campaigns and learn that the WNBA pays her a basic salary of just $76,000. It draws attention to the disparity in pay and the absence of income sharing. The commissioner is aware of this. She is aware that the public is reminded of the WNBA's underpayment of its stars by every high-profile commercial shoot. It calls for examination. Why is the league so broke if this girl is generating so much attention and money? Is one of the awkward questions that people start asking. Leadership becomes protective rather than improving the revenue model or appreciating the exposure. It seems that they would want Clark to be less well known so they wouldn't have to deal with these difficult financial issues. Fighting over crumbs while Clark is creating a whole new cake is an example of a scarcity mentality. Let's concentrate on Kathy Angelbert in particular. She was brought in as a CEO type from Deloitte, who is said to be skilled at growing a firm and crunching figures. However, the Caitlin Clark phenomena has entirely outwitted her. She has responded awkwardly and frozenly to this new commercial period. Recall that during a broadcast interview, this same commissioner found it difficult to respond to a simple question about racial toxicity aimed at Clark. Her attempt at a business non-answer failed miserably. According to Smith, Angelbert is upset because she is aware that she is under scrutiny. WNBA franchises are owned by businessmen. They see the figures, the sold-out venues, the stuff flying off shelves, and the chartered aircraft Clark had the league adopt. The commissioner won't be there for long if she is seen as a hindrance to development and if she is thought to be petty about advertising rather than taking advantage of them. Fear is probably the source of the anger. Worry that she is being shown to be an inappropriate leader for this new period. Angelbert doesn't appear to be able to keep up with Clark's rapid development. The advertisement represents that speed. It is smooth, quick, and attractive to people all around the world. In the meanwhile, official WNBA marketing often seems cumbersome and outdated. The commissioner is losing badly in this conflict between competence and beauty. Reports indicate that she is just resentful at being surpassed by her own player rather than matching Clark's intensity. The only word that suits is envy, therefore we must use it. It has been used by Stephen A. Smith. It has been used by Charles Barkley. We usually discuss how players are envious of one another. SAS is now revealing that envy extends to the executive suite. A commissioner can be envious of her own player, but why? Because Clark has more real power and influence than Angelbert. The world pays attention to what Caitlin Clark has to say. People ignore Kathy Angelbert or don't even recognize her when she talks. For a CEO used to being in charge, it is a harsh reality. Regardless of the league standings, this new ad solidifies Clark's position as the face of women's basketball. For years, the office tried to create stars and convince supporters who to support. When Clark arrived, everything occurred spontaneously, organically, and unstoppably. The anger is that of a micromanager who has lost control. Since Clark doesn't need their consent or money, they are unable to dictate to her what to dress, what to say, or who to sign endorsement agreements with. Their power is directly threatened by this independence. This shows itself in strange ways, such as the length of time it takes for WNBA official accounts to share Clark's highlights in comparison to other players. Throughout the season, fans have recorded this trend. It originates from the top and is trivial and immature. What the league does not do is one of the most striking parts of the whole scenario. Did the WNBA official account repost this new ad when it was released? Did they congratulate their celebrity on reaching a wider audience with the game? Did they celebrate the relationship with a press release? No, total quiet. When NBA players release new signature sneakers or big advertisements, the league promotes them because they know it benefits the ecosystem as a whole. The WNBA has been utterly silent about Clark's business successes. It validates all of Stephen A. Smith's claims. Your greatest star's achievement is only disregarded if you're resentful of it. The league's connection with its fanbase is being intentionally harmed by this silence. It's not insignificant that Clark attracted millions of new admirers. The double standard is evident to them. They see the animosity. They are beginning to see WNBA executives as the antagonists in this narrative. The commissioner is setting a boundary by declining to accept the commercial. We are up against her. And the WNBA will undoubtedly lose that fight, as Stephen A. Smith said. Cultural momentum is unstoppable. The zeitgeist is unbeatable. Right now, Clark is the zeitgeist. Since this is the deadliest aspect of the thesis, we must link boardroom wrath to on-court violence. It sends a message to the rest of the league if the commissioner and league administration publicly express their displeasure with Clark's commercial pitch. Going after her is okay. A respectful and protective environment would be established if the commissioner treated Clark like the valuable asset she is. However, Angelbert skillfully takes away Clark's safety by appearing aloof and seeming to be furious about her marketing success. The harsh fouls have been seen. We've seen eye pokes and blindside strikes. The league's response to each occurrence has been sluggish and ineffective. SAS contends that this is related. When a player makes them feel inadequate, the leadership does not want to shield them. Perhaps they want to see Clark suffer, which is why they're allowing jungle laws to apply to her. In order to say, see, she's not that special, they want her to be knocked down a peg. However, each time she gets up to film a new ad, it disproves them once again. Stephen A. Smith recently revealed the incorrect course they are taking. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons if this tale opened your eyes, since this drama is far from